University of Michigan great Braylon Edwards, and of course, Maz are about to take over on Woodward Sports. Every day, 2 to 4 p.m., it's the best Detroit sports talk on Detroit's best sports network, Woodward Sports.
Thursday show, May 30th, 2024. Ermanni and Edwards with Maz, Woodward Sports Network, woodwardsports.com, fox2detroit.com, and the Fox Local app if you are watching live. If you're watching on YouTube, we say thank you and good afternoon to you. Braylon Edwards, good afternoon to you, my friend.
No. Don't you dare undersell the good afternoon. Ladies and gentlemen, we haven't been a full team in about a week.
Long time.
Haven't seen my guy, Ryan Ermanni. He looks amazing. And Ryan, you look like you're glowing, man. You got energy. You're feeling renewed. I do.
I feel good. You know, over the summer, I've tried to lighten up my load a little bit.
Your shirt's falling off you, brother.
I have tried to lighten up my load a little bit. Everything is working out beautifully. I am feeling good, looking good, energized to be with you today. And, you know, it's one of those things. So I was interviewing Billy Bush today.
Okay.
Remember Billy Bush? He's on Extra.
Sounds like an 80s name.
Well, he's on
Billy
Extra.
Bush.
He was the guy with in the bus with Trump and
the grab him by the
yeah. He was that guy. But how do you describe who Billy Bush is? Right. How do you describe Billy Bush? Well, that's one of the ways to do it. He's an Extra.
Pun intended on
host
the
of
last
Extra, and I've talked to him more than a few times as part of the weekly segment that we do on Thursdays, and he said to me today, he's like, dude, you look great. What's going on?
I'm telling you.
And right on the news, right on the broadcast, I was like, I'm taking the shot.
Yeah,
I'm taking the shot.
To be honest,
it is.
It feels good.
Well, there's no reason to be ashamed of it. First and foremost, I am taking the shot. It's not Ozempic. Ozempic is a brand name for it.
What this thing
of
is,
the semaglutide, and I'm taking a semaglutide shot. No, I'm not going to tell you where I'm getting it from.
None of your business.
You know what I mean?
It's none of your business.
But neither here nor there. But there is such a negative connotation. I feel like still today, when it comes to, well, if you see somebody that loses weight,
it has to be.
Well, either it has to be the shot, or you want to know, are you doing it this way or that way?
And it's funny you say that. We had this whole story we were talking yesterday. I was at last week. I posted something on my story, and I said, you know, I'm in old school. I'm in the gym. I got it in black and white in the video, and I said old school pumping iron. I said no pill, no shot, no Ozempic. I immediately get flooded, Ryan, public account, flooded with DMs. How dare you shame people that take Ozempic or to take something? Not everybody has the type of geniality that you have. I was like, ladies and gentlemen, I never said that I had a problem with it. I simply said because people assume if you're in shape now, he's 41. How is he in shape like that? Old school lifting. I just basically said I'm in the gym. I wasn't trying to say I had anything or any feeling about people to take it. Anything that you do that makes you feel good, I'm all for it, man.
And I agree with that. I think that's such a proper way to go about it, too, because, Bray, I think, listen, I'm doing it my way. You're doing it your way. There is reward in both of it. And I do think, look, if you are out there going to the gym every day, eating right, exercising, I think there is pride in that as well.
100%.
There's absolute pride in that. Me, I've been on every diet in my that there's ever been known to man. I've done every diet. I've done everything. And this, to me, has acted as an aid to lose weight. I eat less. I really haven't changed the way I eat. I just eat less of it.
Okay.
And it's worked for me. And I feel better now than I have since my 20s.
I love it. Yeah. And at the end of the day, we were just talking off air, man. Like, I'm telling you, I see that glow in your skin. You get a chance to spend time with the fam. The families enjoy it. Sun outside.
And that has re-energized me too, actually.
100%.
That's re-energized me too, just being able to spend time with the family a little bit more. But
hey, how you doing, Maz? I forgot you were
Tom
here.
Mazaway, how you doing over there? We're just playing catch up here, Braylon and I.
We're sorry, man.
I'm the other side of the coin. Well, here I am.
There you go. How you doing, buddy? We're just giving you time to work out all the texting and everything.
We're all
like
good,
that.
man. Everything's good. Welcome back.
Thank you, buddy. How you doing over there?
I'm hanging, man.
Yeah,
Beautiful out. I wish we
got
could
you.
do the show outside today.
I know.
He who asks, so shall he receiveth. I got your boy tomorrow.
Oh, BQ?
BQ will be on the show tomorrow.
Look
And
at
also,
that.
I got us one coming next week as well. He does his own podcast, and it's pretty large nowadays.
I love it, bro.
So,
Thank
we'll
you.
talk about that next week.
It's always good to talk to your friends.
BQ's great, man. So he's going to join us. It's going to be great.
Love it, man.
I
A
love
lot
that.
of changes in college football and pro football.
I don't understand all the.
Neither do I.
I don't
NIL
really
versus
know.
paying,
I don't really
get it.
know what's happening yet.
I'm lost.
I need somebody to kind of give me a one sheet
Yeah.
on
NCAA 2024 football for dummies.
exactly. Doesn't it feel to you like Michigan won the last real national championship? Or I don't want to say the last real national championship. That's not the right way to put that. Let me rephrase that. It feels like Michigan won the last college football national championship as we knew it, kind of.
Facts.
Yeah,
College football as we knew it in that era.
100%, because you're talking about the team of four. You're talking about Saban still existed, Harbaugh still existed. That's something we threw in the chat today. What's the NCAA going to look like when you don't have Saban or Harbaugh for the first time since 2009? Just food for thought. But you had Saban, you had Harbaugh, you had the four. You still had good teams that were really good. It really was the same format where, you know what, 4 teams, I can believe in the national champ coming out of these 4 games. Now you add 12. Now the NCAA is trying to fight their way back into what's already they've lost control. So it's just the schools they're becoming separate entities. I think that's what it's becoming. NCAA is on the island. Nobody cares. Schools are trying to succeed from their own conference. You see what's going on with Clemson. You see what's going on with Florida State. Like, it is chaos. It is wild. It's going to be a bunch of separatism. We don't even know if these kids are going to school anymore, or are they just paid players, much like the NFL? This would be the last time you really would be able to, like, you know what, student athletes won this national championship, and it still had a remnants of what we knew and what we loved growing up. After this last year,
Well, it's a smaller playoff that Michigan won, obviously, and it's a playoff that had controversy. Like in Florida State didn't make it. Everyone goes into all of
Georgia,
that.
they had
And the
one loss in
matchups.
3
Yeah,
years.
Georgia. You won't have that now because you'll have the 12 best teams playing, and before you know it, you'll have the 14 best teams playing. Before you know that, you might have 30 freaking teams because it's changing by the day. I can't keep up with schools are going to pay their players or NIL is going to pay them. To me, it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. I don't understand it, nor do I even give a damn about it anymore, to be honest with you. I just want to watch a good game.
college football is really the only one of the major 4 sports in college that really pulls from what its pro league looks like. Like, college football every year gets more and more like the NFL. College basketball is still college basketball. NHL, MLB, they're still college sports. College football is like the NFL. It is really the fastest transition. What does the NFL do? Oh, I hear they're going to 18 games next year. What's college football going to do? Well, we're going to 16 games because right now you have to win 15. Well, last year, 15 games to win a national championship. Now it's 16. As the NFL goes up, guarantee you college football goes up.
One of the things you said in our little text thread that we have together, Bray, when you're talking about college football, with Nick Saban gone, look, Nick Saban's the face of college football.
100%.
When it comes to coaches.
Yeah.
And after that, honestly, even though he had never won a national championship prior to last year, I think Jim Harbaugh was right up there.
I agree.
As a face of college football, a villain for so many, because you need a villain too.
Saban's a villain.
Saban's a villain.
Harbaugh's a villain. Bobby Bowden was a villain.
Exactly.
Yeah, good call.
Who is that face of college football now? And I think it's got to be one of 2 guys. I think it's got to be Brian Kelly at LSU. And he hasn't won a national championship at LSU yet. Longtime coach at Notre Dame, goes to LSU. All he's done is churns out top 5 picks in the NFL every year. And then obviously Georgia's coach.
Kirby Smart.
Kirby Smart is up there too, but I would say Brian Kelly over Kirby Smart despite the national championships.
See, people aren't going to like this because usually when Anson's in here, all we do is disagree. But right back out the chute, Ryan and I are in a total lockstep on this one. Brian Kelly has never won, but he still reminds you of that iconic coaching era. When he was winning, he won at Cincinnati. He won at Grand Valley. Then he was down at Notre Dame. He had 12, they went 12-0 with Monte Te'o. There's a name from the past. Monte Te'o played against Alabama. So you really remember that as a historic era in college football. So it doesn't matter. You got two guys that are currently coaching that have 2 national championships, but nobody thinks about. Kirby Smart has 2, and Dabo Swinney has 2. But nobody's looking at these guys as iconic coaches. Brian Kelly still carries that medal. Like you said, he left Notre Dame. He left Notre Dame when they were 11-1. Left them in great standing, and then he goes down to LSU, and what does he do for year 1? Well, he beats Nick Saban in Tuscaloosa. So, like you said, he's just one of those iconic coaches, but everything is new. Is it going to be Matt Lanning out of Oregon, who seems to be a really good fit? He decided to stay. Is it going to be DeBoer, who left Washington, just lost to Michigan? Now he's head of the charge for the Crimson Tide. But who knows these people?
No doubt. And then when you look locally here, I mean, I think this is the first time in the history of college football in this state that Michigan and Michigan State have had a first-year head coach at the same time.
Oh, good call.
Sharon Moore for Michigan, Jonathan Smith for Michigan State. They were at a camp yesterday where they're seen, kind of talking to each other and all that good stuff. And I'll tell you this much, and I don't know if it was you that said this or somebody that said this. When Harbaugh left Michigan and Sharon Moore took over, it felt like to me like I don't even care anymore.
That was that guy sitting in the chair right there. Right. That was Tom Mazaway.
As we get closer now, I know it's the summer, like after spring ball,
starting to get that itch.
All the tweets that I see from Sharon and Smash and this, that, and the other thing, I am so excited for the Sharon Moore era at Michigan. It's exactly as you said it would happen.
But listen to me. You weren't here the other day when we brought this up. The book.
He's going to do that a lot today, by the way. He's going to do that a lot today.
The Jim Harbaugh book that's coming out. You saw what he wrote in it.
I gave you your credit.
You saw. He basically said what you told everybody, that the AD, Ward Manuel, was not the guy, did not have his back, never had his back. And that's the main reason that he went to the pros. And that's going to stick in my craw and every Michigan fan's craw forever, because we lost the best coach that Michigan has ever had, besides Bo. Bo's old days.
I even think Jim Harbaugh is better than Bo, to be honest with you.
I do too.
Hey.
Lloyd, I love you.
Right.
Lloyd
there.
Is
my coach.
Right there, Lloyd.
Yeah, I agree with you that Jim's over. What Jim did, look, I love Lloyd Carr. Lloyd's my guy. You know how I feel out about him.
3-0 in this room.
100%. But what Jim did in these last 3 years, like no Michigan
Unmatched.
coach.
Now, Lloyd won, actually, the last real championship for Michigan. Right. In reality, should have had it all. We all know the Tom Osborne thing.
Yep.
They would have beat Nebraska had they played him. We don't know that, but I'll just guess they did.
I'll clean Maz up comment just a lot, so we say exactly what was said, because he didn't say that about Ward, but what he said was, if there was an AD in Ann Arbor that I felt would have my back, I would have stayed at Michigan. I wanted to be a Michigan man. That's more so what he said. He didn't say Ward's name, but he alluded to, you knew who he was talking about 100%, but Ryan, you called it from day one. I thought it was the dreams of grandeur, trying to get back to the NFL, trying to get that Lombardi trophy, but he's telling you straight up, this is what it was.
I think the I don't want to say issue that I would have with it is, what is the motivation behind it? Michigan has moved on. They have Sharon Moore. Jim Harbaugh has moved on. He's one of the hottest new things in the NFL. Jim Harbaugh, you're in LA. A lot of people love you already there.
Yeah.
What's the
so who's got it better than us? I hear more and more.
What is the motivation behind getting, dripping all this stuff about Michigan out there a little bit? I don't know. I'm glad he did, because it makes me look right from day one.
Well, you were.
And
right.
I appreciate that aspect of it, but I don't know what the motivation behind, taking those last few jabs. You're out. It's over now.
Two motivating things. Thing one, I'll ask you a question right back to you. What was the motivation for Robert Kraft going on this long dynasty streak?
Yeah.
Like, Bill was gone, Tom had left, Tom had won, Bill and Tom, Robert Kraft and Tom still best friends. He's in his wedding, and it was no motivation there, but at every turn, Robert Kraft has taken his time trying to dissect apart what Bill Belichick was responsible for and what they weren't. Going to the second thing, I think it's Harbaugh because a lot of people still are pissed that Jim left. There are a lot of people that are still pissed. A lot of people that would prefer.
You think they're pissed or you think they're upset?
Well,
they're disappointed.
Well, disappointed is a better word, and disappointed is a better word because I don't care if you're mad at me. Somebody can be mad to say blue in the face. If someone that I care about tells me I'm disappointed, or if it's a fan say you're disappointed in me, it hits a little harder. Hits a lot harder than just being mad. And I think this is an easy way because he already does not like him, and he knows he does not like him as well. It's a way to just say, hey, look, I wasn't getting the support. So I really wanted to be there, but I couldn't coexist. And now maybe you have some of those people that are disappointed. Now they turn their disappointment and place it all on Ward Manuel.
Yeah, and, that's a great point, Bray. And one of the things about that, too, is if you look at the timeline of what Jim Harbaugh was saying, he's like, look, I would have probably never taken that interview with the Chargers had we had the athletic director. Once you take the interview and then you go on the interview and you're getting the job and this, that, and the other thing, then things snowball, and then maybe your juices get flowing. You want to go back to the NFL. You see yourself back in the NFL.
There's people that are going to say, forget that one. How about the year prior when he tried to get the Vikings job?
Same thing.
I guess so.
The athletic director.
I guess so.
Right.
This is when he was trying to get the contract.
Yeah,
that's when
you're right. And that's when they took the money away from him.
Yeah.
He was just trying to get that back.
And that's when he got it back.
It was all handled really, really bad
on both sides, to be honest. Yeah.
He got the money, and they took it away. Then they start winning, and then they're going to give it to him. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's too late,
under
man.
restrictions and put bylaws in
there. A
there.
chance to go to the NFL and coach against your brother and coach on the West Coast? Hell yeah. Who wouldn't take that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely enticing now. And look, we'll see what happens. I think, Jim Harbaugh aside, and one of the questions from 3 Perk says, what do you think the Chargers...
Perk 30.
What is that?
Perk 30. Is
that what that is?
Yeah, I'll catch you up after the break.
All right, thank you very much for that. What do y'all think the Chargers' record is going to be next season? I'm not sure what it's going to be next season, but I think they certainly compete for a division championship in the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, 2 years for sure. And, maybe you're competing for Super Bowls after 2 or 3 years.
Can I give a thought on that? The NFL has gone a different way, and this is no disrespect to the league today. It's just currently how it's slated because everything is about offense. You want points, you want yards, you want stats, fantasy, the whole 9 yards. But it's a much more finesse NFL. Would you agree with that, Maz and Ryan? Than 10 years ago,
100%.
than 15 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Okay, it's a finesse league.
100%.
Things always change. Like the tide turns. The league got finesse a little while with the Chargers. San Diego Chargers and Eric Coryell and the offense that he put in, but they find their way back. Jim Harbaugh is a smash-mouth football guy. Jim Harbaugh comes from the old school. Bo Schembechler was his head coach. Everywhere he's gone, he's done it his way. And his way, the big uglies up front. You get yourself a defensive line that can rush the passer and stop the run. Who's to say that won't work now? The only thing is get these guys in shape. You got to find those guys that can go 60 minutes. Because now what you do is this finesse NFL, you find a way to put your defense in the work, put your offense in the work. You lean on these finesse linebackers that are now not as big as they used to be, these defensive linemen not as big as they used to be. You lean on them for 60 minutes, start to make it your style of football. And I think that's to what you're saying. I think that's what he's trying to do. That's what he did in Michigan. That's what he did at Stanford. Everywhere he's left the trail of running backs. Toby Gerhardt had 29 touchdowns, my God, at Stanford. So I think that's what he's going to try to do.
And you talk about how that pendulum swings back and forth. Yeah. There was a time where no running backs were taken in the first round. Then all of a sudden, everybody's taking running backs in the top 10, let alone the first round.
Yeah.
Wide receiver position was never paid before a couple of years ago. And
now they're going for 2 first-rounders,
exactly,
30 million.
Exactly. So
I'm late.
That pendulum swings back and forth quite a bit. Before we move on from Harbaugh and get back to Michigan for a second, did you see the report that some of the Chargers players think Jim Harbaugh is just an extremely weird dude? He didn't let the players have any music be played at OTAs because he wants the players to concentrate. And there's talk that the players already are like, man, this dude is off his rocker.
But this is Harbaugh. Harbaugh did the same thing when I was in San Fran. His first year in the NFL, 2011, I was on that team. Started training camp, it was kind of like it was the Harbaugh show. He was going to do it his way. There was no music. He was figuring it out. And I think that's just for people to buy in. And then slowly but surely, you get to the first game, you implemented some music towards the end of training camp. You get to the first game, win the first game, you win the second game. You're starting to look at your standing. You're starting to see that the things that are being taught, the things that are being played out, they work. You look at the next game, you're 3-0, you're 4-0, you're 7-0, you're 6-0. And I know that won't be the Chargers necessarily, but you start to buy in when you see it work. You can even lose a game and see how close you were and see that, you know what, things could have played out a little differently if it wasn't for this or that. So I think people will buy in. It's just a slow process. Once you see some wins and once you see it doesn't look like Brandon Staley, it'd be all right.
Right?
Yeah.
Back to Michigan for a second, because just my original point, and I've kind of talked around it a lot, was just about how excited I am for Sharon Moore. I was asked today by a friend what I legitimately think Michigan's record will be this year. And I did tell him, as it stands right now, I would have to say best case scenario right now, if you just nailed me to the wall, I would say 9-3.
Okay, best scenario. Okay,
that's best
right now.
Why not?
Texas, Oregon, Ohio State.
We're losing all three of those?
I think right now, without having benefit to see the offense, I have no idea who the starting quarterback is.
Right.
If I can't even tell you the name of the starting quarterback, I'm not going to go in and say we're going to beat Ohio State.
Gotcha.
I'm not going to go in and say we're going to beat potential number 1 pick in Quinn Ewers in Texas.
Does losing those 3 games make you a top 12 team?
I think it might. I think it absolutely might. Right now, you're going to have a championship defense. That defense is going to keep you in every game.
You got a running back and Donovan Edwards.
You've got your running back, but I have no idea who the quarterback is. Sans knowing that, I'm going to give you best case scenario.
You have a great tight end in Loveland.
Do you have a quarterback to get him the ball? Everything revolves around the quarterback for me. And I just don't know who that person is yet.
I think that's fair. I say best case scenario is 10-2, and the reason I say that, like you said, I think Texas is the best team on paper right now in the nation. They feature the best offensive line in football. We feature the best defensive line in football. So, like Alex Intern said this past Wednesday, that's going to be a great matchup. Ohio State, similar to the team they had last year, minus Marvin Harrison Jr., and also they've added a couple of pieces there, and $13 million worth of pieces in the offseason did they spend. So I like that. Like you said, who the heck is going to play quarterback? It doesn't matter what wide receiver you have or what tight end you have. If you don't have a guy that can give him the ball, then you're going to be in trouble. But I think Michigan is better. I think they're better than people think. I think they're going to be a much better team. And it's still a lot of the players that were on a national title team, a lot of players that have spent 3 and 4 years with Jim Harbaugh and knows how to play this game, the experienced veterans at winning. Like, that also plays a heavy burden in terms of, sports, is that experience. This team is an experienced team to the tune of a national championship, so don't let that play for nothing.
And again, I reserve the right to change my opinion on that as well. I mean, after watching Alex Orji, can I change my opinion on that? Maybe it's Jack Tuttle, the 29-year-old.
This is his 7th year.
I don't know, is he 35 years old? Indiana, I think, maybe, or I don't even know, to be honest with you. Right? Indiana. I think Indiana. Which is great. I mean, I just don't know. Yeah, hey, I mean, it worked out for Bo Nix and Michael Penix. I mean,
first round draft, right? I still can't believe Bo Nix is a first round quarterback.
Right?
They say he's
killing it.
Yeah, killing it under Sean Payton's tutelage.
Yeah,
I don't think Washington is going to be any good. I think Washington was a lot of people believe that maybe that could be a 4th Michigan loss if you did a best case, worst case scenario. But
they lost a lot
without Michael Penix, without
USC. They're going to lose.
I think they'll beat USC. They'll beat USC at home. I don't think USC can come here and with that defense. We don't know who their quarterback is.
Their
number
defense
one
is like a sieve.
Yeah, they have no.
USC
defense.
Was bad with Caleb Williams.
Right, exactly. And they come to Ann Arbor where they're going to travel. I mean, the one thing about Michigan, they'll go out to Washington. Michigan's defense will travel. I still don't see Michigan State, being there yet. And again, I reserve the right to change my opinion about Michigan State.
It's true.
As well, I don't
First-year coach, another first-year coach.
They're going to be a ton better. A ton better.
They were 3-9.
Yes,
of course they're going to be
win
better.
6-7 games.
Of course they are.
Don't say at least 6-7 now. You can say at least
6.
5.
I mean, but that quarterback Aiden Childs or whatever his name is. I mean, he's going to be good for them. But again, we're all just talking out of our behinds right now until we see these people. I mean, it was a lot easier to talk about Michigan knowing that they had J.J. McCarthy, Jim Harbaugh, Blake Corum, and all these guys coming.
Roman Wilson.
5 NFL players at offensive
Zach
line.
Zinner.
It was a lot easier to talk about Michigan last year than it is to talk about Michigan this year. We have no idea.
Yeah, 18 players that were available for the draft also left this year. But also, too, it's just that style of college football now. Like, it's NIL, it's transfer portal. Like, each year, the whole roster is changing. Back in the day, Ryan, when you're talking about a team, you pretty much know who that team was from last year.
That's right.
You can talk about some of the young guys, the underclassmen. Hey, this guy's he's going to step up in the starting role this year. We saw what now it's like you got a whole new squad each year. You really don't know. And it's not doing your homework. It's just, who the heck are these guys and where they're coming from?
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much. There's so many fluid things that can happen between now and August, now in September, and I do think Michigan will get better and be better at the end of the season than obviously in the beginning of the season. And Sharon Moore has all my confidence. I think not that he needs it, but I am excited for Sharon Moore's Michigan Wolverines more so than ever before. I'm getting there as you indicated I would get there.
Maz, but also tell me, it's a lot easy to anticipate a new head coach when he's taking over a national championship team.
Especially since he coached 3 games.
True. Michigan still right now, as it plays out until next national championship, we're the national champions right now currently. So still excited about seeing that team. And like you said, he did coach against Penn State, and he coached against Ohio State and Ryan Day.
Early in the year as well, right?
There was like
3 or 4 different head coaches.
It was easy games though, but yeah, to your point.
Biggest challenge with Sharon Moore too is Sharon Moore, we know he can coach in game.
Yeah. But
developing the game plan with players that are not NFL caliber players just yet. See, he and every other coach on Michigan staff had a much greater advantage last year when they had a first-round quarterback, couple of high-round offensive linemen, high-round running back, a high-round wide receiver. I mean,
I agree with you. I put it to you this way, Maz. A couple of those, pretty much all of those Nick Saban national championship teams, pretty sure a assistant coach could have still coached those guys to the national championship game or at least to a playoff game because those rosters were stacked. And last year, Michigan finally had their Alabama Crimson Tide roster because they were stacked from head to toe.
There's no doubt about it. All right, guys, we are going to
I forgot we won a national championship without Zach Zinner.
Right? I mean, he's going to be a good pro. I was hoping the Lions would get their hands on him.
Crazy.
We're going to take a break. When we come back, no NBA last night. There is NBA tonight. A really good hockey game last night. There'll be another good hockey game tonight. NBA, NHL playoffs. We'll talk Lions as well coming up in the next hour. But first, a message from Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. That's exactly what Les Stanford did by adding the Buick GMC brands to their lineup. The Les Stanford Buick GMC dealership located in Ferndale on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. And if you're looking for a Chevy or a Cadillac, Les Stanford in Dearborn, where they have been on Michigan Avenue for over 55 years. You can find the brand you want under one umbrella, LesStanford.com, LesStanford.com.
Together, let's drive.
All right, let's get you right to Premier Pet Supply, PremierPetSupply.com. Hands down, Michigan's best pet store, family-owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food at the lowest prices available, and curbside delivery if you need it. They have nutritionists on call as well. Don't settle for less. Give your pet the best. PremierPetSupply.com.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness, where your fitness is essential. $10 a month is all they charge. And they've been telling you guys that since the inception. You got to get down to the gym. You got to get in shape. Summer is here, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be in June in 2 days. You want to get in shape. You want to feel good. But you want to go to a place that there's no judgment. There's no judgment in Planet Fitness because it's home, the judgment-free zone, and squeaky clean gyms. $10 a month. Your fitness is essential. Pull up on Planet Fitness.
There's a stark reminder last night that we are absolutely coming to the end of playoff season.
Last night was tough.
I mean, last night with no NBA. We do have an NBA game tonight. It is Dallas and Minnesota. Minnesota is a 4.5-point favorite tonight.
At home.
No team has ever come back from down 0-3 in the NBA playoffs.
3-1, but never 0-3.
It does feel like Minnesota is live. Does it not?
Yes.
I agree. It seems like Anthony Edwards started to figure some things out. He missed a triple-double by 1 assist last game. Even Karl Anthony Towns, someone that is missing in action very much when it comes to the Minnesota Timberwolves, he was 4 or 5 in three-point range, had 25 points. So, I mean, it's still a very young team if you look at the Mavericks. How you take Kyrie off that team and you take off Luka Doncic, you're looking at a young team that's very impressionable, and maybe they're not ready for
He's 25.
True, but he's but he's been all pro for 6 years, right? Like those 6 years matter.
No, that's true.
But yeah, it's a very young team, young person when you don't know if they're ready for the moment. Meanwhile, on the other side, when you're looking at your second roster, Michael Conley, whether he's been to a finals or not, has been in the playoff, the conference finals, a lot of times. He has that experience, and as Jokic said, he's the most underrated player in the NBA. So when you look at that team, they have the makeup, like you said, to be live, Ryan, and maybe not come back, but definitely make this thing interesting.
If they win tonight, man, it's a series. It's a series. They got to hold home court. Hold home court, and you're going back to Dallas for 1. And then all bets are off, man. Just play your best game. Anthony Edwards has yet to play his best game.
I agree.
He has yet to play his best game. Stop worrying about Luka and Kyrie. Just play your damn game. And Cat's got to play more than 25 minutes. He's got to.
I am so interested in this game tonight because I think Minnesota wins this game.
I hope so.
And I think Dallas started. I don't think Dallas is as good as they've played in the first 3 games of this series.
Kyrie's been missing for 2 games,
and they have made every big shot at the end of games. Minnesota gave them one of the games by the turnovers.
The last one, Maz talked about that.
Exactly. The turnovers at the end of games. It just feels like to me that Minnesota, everything is setting up for definitely a game 6 and maybe even a game 7.
Well, you see who I'm cheering for. I can't wear it, as you see right here. Dallas Mavericks.
I think I'm rooting for Dallas too.
Yeah, shout out to Dirk.
I think I'm rooting for Dallas too. I am rooting for Minnesota tonight. And I may even be rooting for Minnesota in Game 6.
You want a Game 7?
I do want a Game 7, and I do like both teams. I think both teams have elements to the public that you can get behind. I mean, I think between Kyrie and Luka, the city of Dallas, and you got Mark Cuban as the owner, one of the great owners,
Definitely.
I think, in professional sports. And then you look at the other side, and you see, okay, there's this kid, Anthony Edwards, who could catapult to be the face of the NBA at 22 years old, or the face of American basketball anyway, because
there's basketball.
There's so much. There's so many international,
Europeans.
International talent in the game right now. I could see each team. There's a positive in each team winning, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I want Dallas to win. Look, man, I'm a Kyrie fan. I love what Kyrie's doing. We keep talking about this ring will mean so much more than the first ring he won with LeBron, kind of helping really do it, and then Luka Doncic kind of taking that step. But whoever wins, I want it to go the distance. The reason why is I want the team coming in fresh, because the Celtics team is a better team than both of these teams as it is constructed. Top to bottom, they have more depth. They probably got the best two players, although Kyrie and Luka will have something to say about that. Jaylen Brown and I can't think of Jason Tatum.
Tatum.
They've been lighting it up. You saw he finished that series, called out all his haters, say, here I am. What do you guys have to say? Now Jaylen Brown saved his butt in game 1 and game 2. So I think if they win now and have to sit, they're going to run into a trap in the Celtics. But if you get to extend it and you're coming out and just finishing the 7-game series, you'll be in more rhythm to play against the Celtics.
Am I crazy to think Minnesota might win tonight handily?
By a lot?
I don't know about that.
What do you think, is 7 or more?
Like a double digit. Has there been any?
That's what I was thinking. I thought most of these games have been pretty damn close.
They have been. Mavericks won game 1 by 3.
Yep.
Mavericks won game
By
2 by 1.
Oh, oh, that's right.
Then the Mavericks won game 3 by 9.
Yeah, it looked like they had defeated Minnesota.
Right, yeah.
It looked like they broke them.
And then Timberwolves
Won
won
by
5.
Yeah.
So 3 of the 4 games have been.
So they average about 6
all
points.
4 of them have been under 10 points.
Right.
And 3 of the 4 have been 5 points or less.
I might take the points tonight. And I still think they might win.
Yeah.
Take the 4.5, but I like Minnesota on the money line to win tonight. That's it. Just win the damn game.
Right.
Get to Dallas. Get to Dallas.
That's so funny.
It's a Thursday, right? So that'll be like a Saturday night game, right? That'll be fantastic.
I'll tell you right now.
Oh, nice play. You're absolutely correct, though, Maz.
6-1. It won 6-1 Saturday night.
It's a Saturday night game.
I think both of you guys are saying the same thing as it relates to this series. Will be a series, especially if they win this one. I think if they win this one, then that youth plays into age. You're talking about a team that's up 3-0, and now they blink, and now they're up 3-2. Whoa, what happened? How do we get to this point? What's going on? This is supposed to happen like this. When you're young and you don't have that experience, those are the moments that you have nothing to pull from.
Right.
Those are the moments when I don't understand this, what's going on. And you start to guess your shots. You start to guess your tempo. You start to guess, do I pass? Do I shoot? I think that's when the Mavericks can be in trouble. If they win tonight, Maz, you got a point. I think you'll start to see that game 3. You'll see a Dallas team not playing as confident as they have been the first 4 games.
I just want it to go to distance.
Right. I know that's kind of where I'm at right now,
I want both
too.
hockey games to go to distance.
Yeah. Well,
hockey series.
actually, I don't want the Edmonton game series to go the distance. I just want Edmonton to win. We are rooting for the manager.
They're barely winning.
Well, what do you
goaltender gave up 2 goals in the first 4 minutes. He gave up a goal 40 seconds into the game. They were ready to pull him. They're ready to pull him 5 minutes into the game. I'm like, please. And then the guy went on. He stopped the next 22.
Right.
But he's shaky, man.
Yeah.
He's very shaky. Skinner is shaky.
Well, it's kind of like I think it was game 3. Edmonton scored the first 2 and then was outscored 5-1 the rest of the way.
Yeah.
Last night, Dallas scored the first 2, and Edmonton outscored them 5-0.
Yep. Thank God.
Absolutely, and that series is tied 2-2 now as it heads back to Dallas.
It's fun, man. I think the hockey games have been great, and you know what? The ratings have shown them.
Yes.
Now, hockey ratings aren't great.
Yes.
But for what they get, they are like 40% better than they've
Mm-hmm.
been over the years. And then, the Western Conference is on TNT, and Kenny Albert, I can't stand him. And then the Rangers series, the Eastern, is on ABC, ESPN. You get the great Sean McDonough, which is fantastic.
And again, I think that's I think another big reason for that is the teams that are left.
Yeah.
The New York Rangers are a draw.
Yep.
And I know it's the Edmonton Oilers, for a guy like me, product of the 80s, seeing that sweater still around it gives me something to root for. And Dallas is one of the top 6-7 media markets in the country.
You're not lying. Like, shoot, if your team's not in it and you see a NFL playoffs and the Bears happen to be in an NFC championship game, all right, it's the Bears. They're one or the Green Bay Packers. You look at the 49ers, you don't have to be a fan of. You see the Steelers, even though they suck, you be like, Steelers made it to the second round of the playoffs? Let me see what Mike Tomlin has to offer.
Right.
You're not lying. The ones that are associated with greatness, it doesn't matter if you're a fan or not. You tend to see like, all right, let me see what's going to happen.
I mean, last night I'm thinking about looking at those sweaters. I'm like, Wayne Gretzky, Mark Messier, Yari Curry, Grant Fuhrer. You know, I mean, like I'm just going through all of these names that played for that organization. And it's so cool to see them around.
And you get to hear the Canadian national anthem, which was always my favorite. And Edmonton, the guy sings it. He sings the first part of it, and the crowd finishes it.
And he sings it from the stands. Yes. I was watching it last night.
It's so cool.
It was great.
It's so cool.
Who would have won, the Red Wings of the 90s or the Edmonton Oilers of the 80s?
That's
great. It's a different game, too. It's so like finesse back in the 80s.
They got faster in the 90s.
The Oilers were super stacked.
Yeah.
Super stacked.
Even more so than the Wings?
At their peak,
the
Oilers were unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I was going to ask another question, but I don't want to
go ahead.
No. I was going to say a certain incident didn't happen. Like with
like Vladdy, he's still with them?
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's still
makes it a little bit closer. Yeah.
Okay.
Charlie Huddy, Dave Hunter, Yari Curry.
They had Grant Fuhrer.
Kevin Lowe.
Yeah, once you said Grant Fuhrer, I kind of backed off.
And do you know who the backup goalie was? Andy Moog.
Yeah.
Who was
he was Boston's number one guy.
Boston's number one goalie for so long. Yeah. You know, I mean, Paul Coffey.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
Detroit
Mike
Red
Krushelnevsky. Remember him?
Of course, I know the Cruiser.
Jeez.
He was a Red Wing assistant manager.
Wow.
At one point.
Some of the great names
assistant coach.
That is so great.
I told you what he did to me, didn't I?
Who?
The Cruiser?
No.
Krushelnevsky?
No.
He's on the bench for the Wings. He's an assistant coach. So I walk in, Doc Emmerich gives me the Fox Glow Puck. Here, Maz. Here you go. Take it. Thank you, Doc. So I have it, and the word gets out to some of the Red Wings because our studio is right there, next to the locker room. The John at the Joe.
Yeah.
So Cruiser comes in. He's like, "Hey, you got that Fox puck?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can I see it?" Yeah. I give it to him, and he disappears. The game plays on. The game is over. It's over. Like he had it for the whole time, and I'm waiting, and nothing. I don't see him in the locker room. I don't see anything about him. I catch up with him as he's trying to walk out one of the back doors of the Joe. I'm like, "Coach, you got my puck?" He said, "Oh, well, I thought you gave that to me." I'm like, "No, I didn't give that to you." So he's like, "Okay." He reaches in the pocket and he gave it. He tried to skate off with my puck.
No
kidding. Do you still have it?
Yeah, I still got it.
The glow puck made hockey fun for a second, but then like after the first two games I watched, I'm like, all right,
I liked it. It didn't bother me.
Is there a difference of the glow puck or something?
Pardon?
Is there a difference?
Yeah, it's got like little lights around it. Oh yeah.
You know what's so confusing? Speaking of the glow puck,
I meant the laser line. That's what I meant. The line on the TV.
Oh yeah. The glow puck, the laser line.
Yeah.
How many times now they have CG on the boards around it?
Unbelievable.
And sometimes there's a big puck that goes around these
boards. Yes.
So it keeps up with it.
So confused.
Yep.
That's not the puck.
Last night in Dallas, where was the game? It was Edmonton, right?
It was in Edmonton.
Last night in Dallas, they have a watch party at the American Airlines Arena.
Okay.
Do you know on the ice they have the
exact spots?
They have the AI circles of every player. You see the circles going around on the ice. I wish I had that for you. I'll find that for you.
Really?
Yeah. So the fans are there watching the TV, and on the ice, they have it all blacked out. You see all the players in colored circles.
No kidding.
Orange for Edmonton, green for the Stars.
Isn't that something?
It's unbelievable.
It makes it exciting. It's kind of like when during football season, when you see like the games overseas or some of the playoff games, when Nickelodeon would do the different characters or Disney would do the different characters in AI form, and it'd be the actual game, but you're watching Disney characters do the moves. You say you watched a little bit with Mookie for a second.
Oh yeah,
the Super Bowl was fun on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
I would never watch the Super Bowl on Nickelodeon.
I didn't care about the Super Bowl this year. Remember?
Oh yeah.
I was defeated.
Right.
I didn't give a damn. So for about for one quarter, I put on Noah Eagle and Nate Burleson on the Nickelodeon. It was
Ryan
fun.
was defeated too.
Well, now you're going to watch Noah Eagle call NBA games.
You know it.
Oh, here's this. Is
See,
this
look at
what-
the, look at the circle.
Oh, that's what you're
Pete?
talking about.
Yeah.
Look at the
Wow.
circles.
Thanks, Pete.
You got it, buddy.
Oh wow,
That is pretty cool.
Isn't that something?
Look how many people
How
are
do
there.
they do that?
Here, I'll go back to the start again. Look
Just
at the
think
circle.
that this is just the start of this.
That's
Yeah.
a lot.
Just think in a couple
Look at
of
the
years, we're going to
circles.
look back and say, look how it used to look.
Right?
It's amazing.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
It
they're
truly
gonna
is.
have. You know what they go from here? They go to holograms.
Oh,
Like that's the next move. Right now is the dots. But
Artists-
once they get it together,
Artists are doing it now. Like
100%.
Michael Jackson.
shoot, Tupac's hologram
Tupac
was the first one.
hologram.
That was 2012.
Right. Imagine
That's
that.
12 years ago.
Isn't that something?
Now you have holograms. I take my son to see that if they were out of town.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
how about when the hockey team wins as soon as the game's over, the dasher boards light up. Oilers win.
Oh,
Stars
yeah.
win.
It is
Like
wild.
instantly.
Now the fans in the stadium,
They don't see that.
They don't see that.
No,
They see
that's a television game.
Right? Isn't that
It's a
something?
television game.
Game tonight, Florida and New York Rangers.
Woo! Flip a coin.
It is a series that is tied, 2 games apiece. Both teams have won in each other's building.
Yeah.
Game 5 tonight. It is a flip of the coin.
Who you think's favored?
Florida.
Minus 125.
I don't understand
I
that.
don't get it, man. At the Garden.
Minus
Again.
a quarter.
Yeah.
And they were right. And they were right the first time. In game 1, they were favored. They ended up winning in game 1. It's one of those things, Maz. We keep talking about it. Maz picked the Rangers at the beginning of the playoffs. I picked the Panthers because the Panthers have been floating around this thing for a very long time. I just think it's their time to win.
They've never
I think
won.
the Rangers are going to be here for a minute. Like if the Rangers don't win, I see the Rangers in the same spot next year, maybe even the year after that. So I think the Panthers are playing not desperation, but you know how it kind of feels with the 49ers?
They've been there before.
Exactly. And the 49ers know, like, all right, man, this is it. They're starting to try to put all the eggs in the basket. So I think that the Panthers are the 49ers.
I'm so looking forward to this game again tonight. I love it. I love it. I'm looking forward to it.
$4,000 seats tonight
Oh, easy.
at the Garden.
Easy money.
I'm looking on the secondary
21,000
markets.
fans they fit in there.
4,000 a piece.
Woo!
Isn't that something? And if you paid attention at all to Game 4, that crowd was all Rangers.
Oh, yeah. In Florida?
In Florida,
Oh,
in
God,
Miami.
yeah.
Right.
It was all Ranger fans.
There's blue shirts everywhere.
You know how many people retire in Florida from New York? It's
Yeah.
nothing but New Yorkers
Right.
in Miami.
And
Interesting though.
Michiganders.
This is true.
Yeah.
This is such good hockey, and New York to me, man, I'm rooting for the Rangers tonight. I don't know if they'll win or not, but I'm rooting for them. I don't want to see Florida win.
They've never
At all.
won. They've never won.
That's not my problem.
They're the only team. I'm just saying, they're the only team of the Final Four that hasn't won.
Yeah.
There's a couple teams in the playoffs right now. It'd be their first wins. Minnesota Timberwolves,
T-Wolves.
first championship.
Yep.
The
It would have been the Pacers, but they got knocked out.
the Pacers got knocked out,
Yeah.
but still the T-Wolves. and
Dallas
now you
has
also-
one.
Dallas has one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dallas,
Celtics, 7 million.
but also talking about hockey, talking about the Florida Panthers and everyone as well.
Dallas still has both their teams in.
Right.
The city of Dallas.
And that's something.
Isn't that it's so
in
great?
great spots too.
Hey, how much time we got before a break?
10 minutes.
Hey, Pete, put up the.
6 minutes.
Let me find it
Dougie
for you.
Fresh, you're on.
I want you to put this up. Get this paper out. Okay, guys? Get this paper out. I know, Pete. I'm going to show you where it is, Pete.
Oh, okay.
It is the NFL, MLB, and NBA team equivalents based on
Oh my
percentages
gosh, that's great.
in the last 10 years.
I
Take a
love
look.
this.
Look at the bottom of the list, and you'll see where we are. The Lions have saved us a little.
My God.
But look at us. Now, add the hockey team in there. Where do you think we'd be? Still there at the bottom. Look
Oh
at
my
Detroit.
gosh.
Wow.
So this is baseball, football, and
basketball.
basketball.
Winning percentage in the last 10 years. Look on the bottom. It says a league of their own. Jets and Jaguars.
Oh, my
Isn't this
God, it's
great?
so funny.
Look at the Pistons. Dead last. Right the Giants there with the Marlins
And then right
Come
at
on.
29, the
The
Tigers, and
Tigers.
the Browns.
and the Browns. And
Where are
that-
the Lions on this
Where the Red
list?
The
Oh,
Lions are
21
the Lions are at 21.
with the Chicago Bulls.
How about that?
Nice.
You know what I got
San Diego
hooked on last
Padres.
night?
Phonics.
The Last Dance.
It was on. I saw
It was
that.
on again.
I watched
It's on
3
Netflix
parts.
all the
I
time.
saw it on the guide. I didn't watch it.
I got hooked.
I know. I saw it on the
I
guide.
got
I
hooked.
did not watch that.
But how cool! How cool! That tells you where Detroit sports is.
Boy,
toilet.
How about the Chiefs, Dodgers, and Warriors?
Yep.
Speaking of the Dodgers, I two things. One, I've been watching a lot of baseball lately. The announcer pairing of Gary Cohn, Keith Hernandez,
They're phenomenal.
and Ron Darling
They're the best.
is
I love Keith Hernandez.
They
Man.
are
the
must-see
best.
TV.
It is the
That's
best.
Keith from the Mets
I don't
in
know
the 80s,
how
right?
to,
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it.
They just tell it like it is.
It is the best local broadcast, maybe of any baseball, basketball, hockey.
Yeah.
Maybe. Like, it's just, they're so good.
You're right. They're right
They
on.
are so good. Gary Cohn, I didn't really pay attention to him before
He's
this
a-
year.
He's a Gary Thorne. He is a Gary Thorne sound-alike. He
He's
sounds
just-
like Gary Thorne.
And I don't mean to dork out on you or geek out on you or anything like that.
I'll go for it.
But, like, the Mets are a terrible team. I could watch any Met game just to hear those guys talk.
Did you see what happened last night?
Yes.
They have a relief pitcher in there, and I forgot his name. He's all over the
Tigers
internet.
had a relief pitcher
He's
last
all
night,
over
too.
the internet. Listen
no,
what he does.
They cut him today.
They cut him today. So he throws. He
Mets Lopez, George Lopez.
Jorge Lopez.
Jorge Lopez.
Okay, Jorge Lopez.
George.
George.
He gets thrown out of the game by the third base umpire.
Okay.
They don't know what went on between them, but he gets thrown out. As he's walking out, pulls his shirt out, takes his glove and throws his glove into the stands.
Over the netting.
Over the netting, walks into the dugout, walks into the locker room. They all get him at the end, all the media, and he basically says, "This is the worst team. These are the worst teammates. This is the worst team in major leagues. And I don't care what they do to me. They can do whatever they want to me. This is the worst team in the major leagues. These are the worst teammates in the major leagues."
Oh my God.
And they can him today.
Yeah, they DFA'd him.
So I don't know
today.
what the hell. Now, meanwhile, the announcers are like, "This
You
is the
saying
Mets
all that.
season."
There's some truth to that.
Yeah.
They say this is the Mets season right here in front of you.
Yeah.
They're like, "This is it." Ron Darling was
like,
disgusted.
You can't do that.
He's like, "This is the rock bottom." He
Right,
said,
right.
"This is rock bottom."
Keith Hernandez, I'm so mad he's not in the Hall of Fame, man. Especially after you watch just all the documentaries.
He's fantastic.
He was what, just how he plays the game. I was watching somebody describe Keith Hernandez talking about he may be the best third baseman of all time, just in terms of he was one of the smartest
First base.
Right.
first baseman. Excuse me. He's one of the smartest players that they ever came across.
Great hitter. Great hitter.
Who the hell was it? Will
And
Clark, maybe.
now-
300 average.
I love watching the Dodgers. I won't be able to watch them probably for the next week because they're at home. I like it when they're on the road because the games are earlier.
This is true.
But the Dodgers are beatable.
You get Joe Davis on the call.
Yeah, well, you get Joe Davis on the call, but it's nice when they play on the East Coast teams, like playing in New York.
Like they swept the Mets.
The Dodgers are beatable. If this is my thing with the Dodgers,
Philly, bro. That's it.
Speaking of Philly,
well, and then
Philly's
Atlanta's
hurt. They're done.
Acuna's
Acuna's out.
Acuna
They're
tore
done.
his ACL.
They're done.
speaking of Phillies, you see Bryce Harper.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he's one
Nice
of my
fight.
favorite. That's why he's one of my favorite
Love
players.
Bryce Harper. He don't take guff from
Take no
anybody.
stuff.
Let me
But
tell
going
you
back
about
to
the
the
Dodgers real quick.
Go ahead.
This is why they're beatable. One, their pitching is not that great. It is not.
Kershaw's done.
And Walker Buehler is
Well, he's just coming back.
he's just
from
come
Tommy
back,
John.
but he's not as dominant.
No, he's not.
And two, if 1 through 4
Yamamoto's
doesn't, if
good.
1 through 4 doesn't hit, they 5 through 9, 6 through 9 for sure, but 5 through 9 is so shaky. They have to beat you 1 through 4. Now, in times where 6 through 9 hits, they score 10 runs.
Yeah.
And that's great. But if you go back and look, 6 through 9 doesn't hit, that's why they've lost 22 games. They're not unbeatable at all.
You know where
this thing is not a lock.
Philly is peaking.
Yeah.
You know why your theory is correct? It's because the Dodgers won the asterisk World Series, correct?
Yeah, 20.
20. They didn't win in 21.
No.
They didn't win in
They don't
22.
win. They don't close.
And they didn't win in 23 because everything that you just said, it's always the same thing. If that 1 through 4 doesn't get you, you're not going to win 6 through 9.
But
You see it every year.
How about Betts, Freeman, and Otani with Will Smith, the catcher,
the
batting
best ever.
350?
He had 2 yesterday.
Yeah. I know I have him. He's my guy. I follow. I mean, they're unbelievable.
Fancy baseball. You crushed him.
I'm smashing.
Hey, by the way, my guy that I wanted the Tigers to sign a couple of years ago.
Which guy is that?
Chris Taylor.
Oh,
when
yeah.
they signed Javi Baez.
Oh yeah.
And I wanted them to sign Chris
Taylor plays 4 positions.
Batting 071.
Hey, good call.
Right.
Stick the football.
Right.
At least he's not getting picked off trying to steal second.
Exactly right. Batting 071.
Oh, poor Javi.
He had another rough one.
Oh God. They played a Boston Red Sox for 4. That's a tough series. I know Boston's not their best, but they are a tough team, especially at Fenway. This is the next 4 games, man. It's going to be tough. Then they play 3 at the Rangers. This is a tough 7 games.
Oh man.
They got to get 3 out of. They got to get 3 wins.
And
minimum.
City. That's where the city connect.
They're only 4-1, 5-1.
Well, I mean.
Oh, they lost a game too. 5-2.
They lost to Skeens. It doesn't count if you lose to Skeens.
How good is Skeens? On his birthday yesterday.
Oh my God.
Whiffing 9 in
great.
6 innings.
We had a AAA pitcher on the mound yesterday.
Yeah, I brought a kid
He did
up.
okay.
Yeah.
What did he give up? 3 runs in 5 innings?
Something like that.
So, he's fine.
He's
Four
fine.
and a third. You get
Pirates aren't going to kill you with their bats.
no.
That was a team you got to pretty much sweep. But Skeens took care of
It was the what was it? It was the rain delay. So they had to play 2 games in one day. I think that's what happened.
Right. I think you're right about that. All right, guys, we're going to get to some Lions next. ESPN had a couple of things, a couple of predictions, FPI models about it. We've got a top 10 Thursday as well. So we'll do a little Lions, do top 10
We're
Thursday.
loaded.
All that and more coming up next. But first, a message from Wake Up Merch. No, wake up and get your merch.
Wake up and get your. Well, why don't you wake up and get your merch by heading to shop.woodwardsports.com right now, and you can load up on the latest hoodies, tees, and the hats, which are guaranteed to turn heads. You can get that 775,000 NFL Detroit Draft Day T-shirt. Also get the quarter golf zip pullover as well. Head to shop.woodwardsports.com right now and load on up, and we will be right back.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Ham for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time
What's up,
to let
guys?
Brad Holmes cook.
That was funny.
Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights
thanks, man.
as
Appreciate
well.
it. See,
And look,
that's one of the
through all the
things that
price
makes
increases,
me
inflation, all that hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per
But
month,
do it
$24.99 a month
That's
for
the
the
thing.
Black
Do it right
Card as
and do it
well.
timely.
It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around. Who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby
Where'd
stroller.
Mike go? We have a hot mic.
A chef for Lola, really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! Congratulations to the real Coach of the Year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, it's wicked awesome.
You smell that? That's Brad Holmes cooking. And the off-season smells good. Woodward Sports.
This feels more comfortable, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, let me tell you about Lady Jade's haircuts for men, okay? How about that? Awesome is when a guy can be a guy and get an amazing haircut. That is Lady Jane's haircuts for men. Stop in, sit back, relax. Let one of Lady Jane's talented stylists make you look and feel great. You could walk in anytime, 7 days a week. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Welcome back to the second hour of the show. Ermanni Edwards with Maz. See, sometimes, ladies and gentlemen, you have to be patient. I was so excited to get this joke off that I forgot that Ryan had to read with Lady Jane. So,
same. Quickly before your joke, how about this? We love the chat. Thanks to the chat. And now Justin is in the chat, and I appreciate this from Justin. But for the chat, everybody's saying there was hot mic during the break, and we appreciate that. You know what happens when you say hot mic? We immediately close the mics. So if you just wouldn't have said it,
kept going.
Right?
You kept going.
Just keep going.
You got some.
Now, Justin, who's listening and works here, we appreciate Justin calling it out.
100%. Definitely.
Hot mics get people fired.
Yep.
Yes, they do. It's
Just happened to the soccer announcer. Did you hear about the soccer announcer?
No.
High school soccer announcer?
What are you doing?
Maybe I did. What did he say?
High school soccer announcer broadcasting a game. It was a halftime.
Was it a girls' game?
It was a girls' game.
Yeah, I know
and
what
said,
he said.
well, the great thing about broadcasting these games is the hot soccer moms.
Exactly, yeah.
And they didn't care too much for that.
And he kind of zeroed in on a particular mom.
I didn't see the video. I saw
No, I didn't see the video. I heard
I
what
heard
he was
the
saying.
audio.
I think I speak for a lot of people when I say he's not particularly wrong. He's not particularly wrong, but can't say that. Yesterday, Maz had a unique opportunity to, Chris and Noni Hutch told me to tell you hello.
Oh, the foaling piece.
Yesterday,
Love
they
'em.
kicked off the Grand Prix. Grand Prix will be this weekend. Detroit Grand Prix will be the second one. I know Pete said he went to the original in 1982. Shout out to that. I remember the posters. The posters were always great. But they did a foaling competition that's kind of the kickoff. So I made it to the Final Four. Me and my girlfriend, Brittany, we did lose. Had some pictures for you. Met two of your favorite people, at least your favorite player position. I met Jack Fox, punter for the Detroit Lions.
Oh, is that at the Grand Prix? Is that what you were doing yesterday?
Yep, that's what I was doing yesterday. So that's Mike Badgley, who was the second person I got.
Money Badger.
Money Badger, like, look, he said he'd come on whenever. He said
really?
He'd do a show. He said, love to. These are my parents.
I'm heading out to the Grand Prix tomorrow. We're broadcasting live from there for Fox.
I'll be there Sunday. I'll be there for the actual final on Sunday. But it had the foaling competition. We made it to the Final Four. Chris, he called me a loser because I was a champion with Ryan Ermanni 2 years ago, but it was a lot of fun. Detroit's looking good down there, man.
He's walking on stilts there with those. The way look at where his legs are
like
directly behind the pins.
So you saying my dad don't have no legs? You saying my pops ain't got no legs?
He's walking on stilts there.
And then here's another picture that I got. Intern Joel showed me this. 2 years ago, Ryan, I went to a Red Hot Chili Peppers concert.
Get out of here.
And look who's there asking me questions. And you know why I'm laughing? You know why he's laughing in this one? You know how he finished the conversation?
How'd he finish?
Go green, go white.
I was gonna guess that.
So 100%. But now Joel's sitting right here and does an amazing job with Sports, man. Like, you manifested it. It comes true, man. He was a good guy then and had to work with him now.
I just saw the Charles picture. It comes up on delay here.
Yeah.
He does look like he's on stilts.
Doesn't it?
Like the circus, the juggler at the circus.
Yeah, like he's juggling those pins.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That's so funny.
Tell Chris and Noni we miss him.
100%.
Need him back
They
here.
said they got something coming up. They said they're opening a bunch of locations around the country nowadays.
Fantastic.
I'll tell you off air.
They're great people.
In lieu of the time, because we've got Dr. Jeff Pierce coming up at 3:36 as well. I want to do the top 10.
Okay.
Because I don't want to cheat that. And after that, we'll go through the Lions. After top 10, we'll go through the Lions and ESPN and
I was going
FBI.
to save the top 10 to tomorrow when you're not around.
What, Braylon's top 10 Thursday?
Yeah.
You want to do it on top 10 Friday?
Yeah, we change things now. You know, we have no choice.
Very
We got to juggle some stuff around.
Let's talk a little Lions.
I'm confused.
We'll talk a
What do
little
you wanna
Lions.
do? You wanna
I
talk-
saw this today. Let's do this, and then we'll see where we
We
are.
got plenty of football here.
Okay. Well, then maybe you can save it for tomorrow. So
I know
just
where to
go
put
here.
it.
right.
I just work
Right.
here.
We'll make Maz happy. I am not Maz's favorite person lately with all this time
A lot of
off.
shots.
So He's taking a lot of shots at
You're
my
still my
way.
guy.
Right, thanks,
You're
Braylon.
still
I
my guy.
appreciate
Still
you.
my guy.
And you too,
But
Tom.
actually, Maz, we got to do it today because I wore the jersey.
Okay, go ahead.
Top 10 Thursdays,
ahead.
ladies, because it won't make
Go ahead.
sense tomorrow.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not wearing jersey 2 days in a row, man. You know what I'm saying? I won't be
Go ahead.
I won't be caught dead in these streets like that. With the playoffs going on, you know what I'm saying? We talk about the Dallas Mavericks. I say, I got the Dirk Nowitzki jersey in the closet. Why don't we do top 10 Mavericks players of all time? Now, if you're in Detroit, maybe it doesn't interest you, but if you're a basketball fan, I think you will like the list. Pete, let's get it started 10-5, and then also my man Money Mike.
Top 10 greatest Dallas Mavericks. Okay.
100%. Money Mike, when you get a chance, put the backdrop. There we go. Number 10 is Kyrie. I know you're like, dang, he's only been there 2 years. Kyrie's got them back in the Western Conference and looking like they could be the team to beat in with the rest of the teams, 4 teams left. This is a new Kyrie Irving. And I heard a great comparison, man. I think you would appreciate this comparison.
Christopher Columbus and him?
Don't get me started on Christopher Columbus and the BS that he was. But with that being, this is my opinion. I'm entitled to have that.
Yes.
It's like the transformation between Kobe 8 and Kobe 24. Kobe 8 was that dude. He was this, he was that. He scored 81 points. He won 3 championships with Shaq. But a lot of other things. He was rapping in the offseason. He got in trouble in Denver, as we all know. There was a lot of things going on with Kobe. He shifted his focus when he became Mamba 24. Mm-hmm. He was dialed into basketball. He was dialed into being a teammate. And I was like, his favorite person ever is Kobe Bryant. You see the first person he called when he hit the shot in Cleveland was Kobe Bryant. I think it was Kevin Garnett that said it. I think it was a heck of an analogy.
Absolutely.
So right now, I got to put him in. I know he's only played 2 years.
I like that graphic.
And 100%. The graphics are cool. The guys in the back. Shout out to Noah and Ryan.
Nice job, boys.
Coming in at number 9, Josh Howard. Now, a lot of you guys don't know who Josh Howard is, but Josh Howard was very instrumental
Won a championship.
in the champion 100%. Also, he was an all-star for that 4-year run down there, man. You're talking about a walking 24-12. Josh Howard could play ball.
I forgot about him.
100%. Hey, boy could score. Number 8.
He beat
if
the
you
Heat.
will. Had to put him on there, man.
Oh, God, yes.
Got to put Steve Nash on there. For many years, early on, people thought Dirk and Steve Nash were going to be a thing. They were best friends. They came on the team at the same time. Looked like they would be the ones that kind of turned
Steve
the
Nash
tide.
was on the map.
100%, man. He was cold there, too, before he went to, obviously, the Phoenix Suns. But Steve Nash was cold with the Dallas Mavericks.
Terrible coach,
never
though.
could. Yeah. Was it Don Nelson? Is it Don Nelson?
No, I'm talking about Steve Nash was a terrible coach.
Oh, we know that was all.
I know. Nets blew that. Nice job, Nets.
Way to waste Kobe's last couple years in the NBA. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Number 7. Michael Finley was one of my favorite players, man. One of the first guys to sign with Brand Jordan. Coolest dude. I had a chance to hang out with him a couple times. Great dude. But on that basketball court, he was problems. He can give you 25. He can put you in the blender. He can shoot. He could score. Great defense play. Play both ways, offense and defense. So Michael Finley was fun to watch, man.
Is Fats Lever on this list, or did he play for Denver?
He played for Denver, I think. With the jokes, man. Coming in at number 6. Derek Harper. I had to take it back for Maz, man. He obviously ended his days with the Knicks. But he was cold with Dallas. I don't know how he never was an all-star. Ladies and gentlemen, this may be a little bit before you were around, but Derek Harper was cold, man.
He was a great Knick, too. I know you guys just said that, but
he's a hell of a Knick.
There's one guy on here I'm just looking forward to seeing. We all know who that is, but keep going.
Okay. Coming in at number 5, Jason Kidd. Now, he could be higher. If you look at the totality of his Dallas career, look, won Rookie of the Year, co-Rookie of the Year, because guess who got the other part of that? It was Grant Hill, Detroit Piston. But Jason Kidd won Rookie of the Year with the Mavericks. Then he comes back in 2011 and plays an instrumental role in the championship run. Dirk's run was one of the best ever. I think it was the best. It's just neither here nor there. And now he's got his team, the Dallas Mavericks, in the Western Conference, and they're up 3-1 to get to the finals. So, I mean, you look at all of that, definitely belongs in that top 5.
Absolutely. Jason Kidd. And again, always,
even deserves to go higher.
To me, always be synonymous with Grant Hill, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Jason Kidd was taking 2, Grant Hill 3 in that 96 draft? 95 draft? 94 draft. 94 draft.
Yep, 94 draft. 94. That was a heck.
Dang.
Those drafts, that's when I missed the NBA draft.
Right.
Like back in that time, the first 10 guys.
Who went number 1 that year?
94.
Christian Laettner?
I don't think he went one over.
No, not over Grant.
Shaq went one.
Shaq.
Then Chris Webber went one. Shaq, Chris Webber. So who went one after Chris Webber would be the question.
I'm going to find out right now.
Look it up. What's that been on Washington, Philadelphia 76ers?
Glenn Robinson.
Big Dog.
Big
Milwaukee
Dog.
Bucks. There you go.
Glenn Robinson 1, Jason Kidd 2, Grant Hill 3.
Who went for?
Donnell Marshall.
Danielle Marshall also played for
Danielle
Dallas at some
Marshall.
point.
And then Juwan Howard went 5.
To the Washington Bullets.
Yep.
All right. I like. What do you think of this so far, man?
Love it.
You love it?
Brings back some memories.
Bringing back some memories?
I love that green jersey that Finley was wearing.
Oh, 100%. The Mavs, the old
Yeah,
school.
the one you got on. I love it.
Man, this is one. I remember Mike Finley was in the dunk contest and he did a backflip and then did a dunk. Like, I thought the flip was impressive, the dunk not so much. But anyway, number 4. Let's bring those memories back, man.
Rolando Blackman.
Let's bring
Very
those memories
nice.
back. Now, what do
Very
you like
nice.
about this uniform? It's the old school joint.
Yeah, I love it. I love
Maz
the
likes
old
the short
M with the
shorts.
hat on it, the cowboy
He
hat.
like the short
love that.
shorts. It's funny.
That's
Shorts
a
are back
great
in.
one.
100%. Rolando Blackman. Like, you talking about a guy that can score. People won't remember him. He played in the 80s, early 90s, but this guy was averaging 30 points a game for the Dallas Mavericks for a time down there. All right. We got to the top 3. You know who 2 of them are. One of them's currently playing.
One of them's Dirk.
100%.
One of them's Luka. Can I say
100%.
what the other one is?
Yeah.
Mark Aguirre.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Mark
Yes.
Aguirre. You know I'm from the Detroit Pistons. Mark Aguirre was a dog long before he signed here. He really was a one-option type player. Another guy that you see 2 of those guys on the same team. Mark Aguirre, Rolando Blackman. But Mark could put the ball on the floor, give you 30 points. He took less of a role here because he wanted to win a championship. And then when he came here, it wasn't working. He said, look, you put Dennis Rodman in the starting lineup, I'll come off the bench as a 6th man. Well, 1 to the 2 and the 2 championships.
One of the greatest trades in Pistons history, Kelly Tripucka.
I would say Detroit sports
Right,
history.
Kelly Tripucka for Mark Aguirre. You know, it worked out.
Yeah, it did.
Absolutely.
But we all know who was 1 and 2. Just what order would you have them in? Well, that's no mystery either. Coming in number 2, it's the current assassin, number 77 for the Dallas Mavericks, who's trying to win his first championship this year with the help of Kyrie Irving. Luka Doncic, does he belong number 2 already over people that have won championships like a Jason Kidd?
Yes.
Agreed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Adrian Dantley was traded for Mark Aguirre, not
Adrian Dantley.
Yeah, Adrian Dantley.
I was like, they would have got a lot more than just Kelly Tripucka.
Tripucka, right? Adrian Dantley, forgive me.
AD, as they would call him. He and Isaiah not necessarily seeing eye to eye. But Luka Doncic, should he be above Jason Kidd?
Yep.
I agree.
He
100%.
should be above Jason Kidd. And Dirk
That's
is
close,
number
man.
1.
That's close.
It is. It is. It's no fun saying. I mean, it's no big thing. It's close, but Luka's got 6
He's a
NBA
young
first
man
team
still.
All Pros going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years in a row.
He's a young man.
He averaged 33, 9, and 10 this year.
Wow.
Like, just let that sink in. Like 33, 9, and 10. That's amazing. And you know who's number 1. I said it. I believe he's had the best run in playoff history. He beat Kobe. He
Wearing
beat
that
LeBron.
jersey, man,
he beat
that's
Kevin
great.
Durant. Like, he beat them guys darn near in their primes. Rocking it. I'm 41 years old, and I'm rocking with Big Dirk Nowitzki, who had to develop that hook shot. It was the Detroit Pistons that made him develop that shot that's so famous.
It's a great list. Good job, Bray.
Nice job.
Fun times, man. Go
Very
Mavericks,
timely,
man. Go
very
Mavericks,
timely.
man. The other D. Not the big D, the other D.
There you go. All right, guys, we're going to take a break. We'll come back. We will talk Lions. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Guardian Alarm.
What happens when you see that black and yellow sign out in front of your house? It tells the bad guys one thing.
Stay out.
Let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real people, 24/7 professional monitoring, and technology backed by people. And those people have been proven to care, and that technology has been proven to work, so call 1-800.
Stay out.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Call them today. Tell them Woodward Sports sent ya. We'll be right back.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
What's up, everybody? Neil Rule, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, home of the Planet Fitness Studios. Let me tell you a little personal story about myself with Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness helped me change my life, and it can do the same for you. The best gym in the gym game. The clean facilities, tons of cardio equipment, tons of weights as well. And look, Through all the price increases, inflation, all that, hasn't happened at Planet Fitness. Still $1 down, $10 per month, $24.99 a month for the Black Card as well. It's Planet Fitness, everybody, where your fitness is essential.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's haircuts for men, it's wicked awesome.
The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network.
Braylon Edwards here, Premier Pet Supply. Man, just looking around, who's got it better than pets? Come on, a baby stroller for Coda? A chef for Lola? Really? You don't have to tell me who the real boss here is. Who's got it better than pets? Nobody, especially here at Premier Pet Supply. For over 30 years and more than 13 locations, Premier Pet Supply has everything that your pet can dream of, and guess what? It's all under one roof. Premier Pet Supply, family owned, operated, and proud to call Metro Detroit home. Check out premierpetsupply.com or scan the QR code today. Who's got it better than pets?
Nobody! A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
What's better than crispy chicken and pizza watching your favorite game? You know what the answer is? Nothing. And now at Soroki's, the Nashville Hot is back. But remember, it's only for a limited time. The pizza, ladies and gentlemen, is my favorite. But also, we talk about it every day. It's the biscuits. You gotta get the biscuits and honey. That's what Soroki's is known for. And if the Nashville Hot is too hot for you, well, just get the crispy chicken because that's what they're originally known for. And then also, fresh salads, fresh sides. Soroki's, place to be.
So earlier today, ESPN came out with their Football Power Index, the 2024 projections. Super Bowl chances, conference championship chances. And I have three graphics I want to get to you right now. This was the best chance to win the Super Bowl. Here's the kind of respect that your Lions are getting from the Football Power Index. That's not it. That's a different one. There you go.
There we go.
Best chance to win the Super Bowl. The Detroit Lions are at number 3 on this list. Only the 49ers and Chiefs have a better chance, according to the Football Power Index by ESPN, to win the Super Bowl. And by the way, the 49ers have the best chance of anybody to win the Super Bowl, according to math, apparently, which is a 16% chance to win it. Then you have the Chiefs. It is not the chefs, but the Chiefs. And then you have the Lions at 10% there. How about it, Bray? 10% chance that the Lions win the Super Bowl.
So you got me laughing at that. The first thing I will say is, one, they know. They believe in the Lions like we believe in the Lions. They believe in the Lions off-season, the pickup of DJ Reader, the pickup of Davenport, as well as Carlton Davis. And they also believe in their draft, much like we do, adding Terry Arnold, Ennis Rakestraw, and a couple other draft picks that could go a long way as the season progresses. Everybody else, I just laugh at ESPN because it's all agenda-based. These are the best teams, but ESPN loves to talk about Dak Prescott. There is no reason in hell the Cowboys are number 4. Cowboys are not making the playoffs. Let me start there, which I've already
They should swap with the Texans.
100%. 100% they should swap. You want to keep Dallas in the running because they're Dallas, because they sell ratings. I'm cool with that. Not to the tune of 4. This team couldn't even get to the second round of the playoffs last year and got embarrassed at home for the second year in a row. The agenda-based, but 49ers, another ticket seller. They love talking about Christian McCaffrey. They love talking about Kyle Shanahan. There's no way the 49ers should be over the Chiefs. As long as the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes, he should be on the list. I think the Lions are actually better than the 49ers as well. I think they had a better offseason, and I think they were a better team than when they faced them in January. They just couldn't get it done.
Our guys forgot about I before E, except after C.
That's right.
Right? Well, we can get that taken care of. But
hey, things happen.
I think it's solid. I think it's solid, but definitely move the Cowboys and swap them with the Texans.
I would bring the Texans up.
I think the Texans are top 5. I do. They are loaded and ready to go.
Why are the Bills 7? Like, why are we floating around the idea of the Bills again?
And again, this is based on math.
Okay.
And this is based on schedule, when you play, where you play, condition, like everything, like a mathematical equation.
Gotcha.
This is not, I think, the 49ers are the best team in the league and nobody can compete with them. This is based on a bunch of different factors.
Then I digress.
You know, and again, it's a calculator. And, you know, how many times does math work out?
Okay,
I don't know.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out what the hell they were trying to equivalent with the Dallas Cowboys being fourth on this list.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really looked at their schedule.
Equivalent, you like that one, right?
Yeah, I don't know, but Dallas seems like a team that really gets a lot of love. Now the next full screen is conference matchups, conference title game matchups. The most likely conference title matchups in the AFC has four of the 5 highest percentages involve KC.
All Kansas City.
Kansas City, Baltimore, Kansas City, Cincinnati, Kansas City, Buffalo, Kansas City, Houston, Buffalo, Baltimore. And actually, there's 2 Baltimores, 2 Buffaloes in here. In the NFC, San Francisco, Detroit, San Francisco, Philly, San Francisco, Dallas, Detroit, Philly, Detroit, Dallas. So 3 versions have San Francisco, 3 versions have Detroit, 2 have Philadelphia, 1 has Dallas.
Quick question.
2 has Dallas.
2 has Dallas.
Quick question, Maz. I'm going to ask you. Which of these games, AFC and NFC included at the same time, would you think would be the largest draw?
Kansas City,
rematch.
Cincinnati.
KC, Baltimore, rematch.
You would
KC, Cincinnati, second.
You think that over San Francisco and Dallas? They're 2 of the largest NFL.
I thought you meant AFC.
No, I said AFC and NFC included.
All together?
Yeah, all together.
San Fran, Dallas is the biggest audience.
I don't.
But maybe Detroit now takes over.
I don't think I think people are sick of San Francisco. They've been in it too much now. San Francisco, they've been in 5 straight title games, I think, or something like that. I think
Detroit, Dallas might break the record.
Detroit, Dallas,
that might break a record
if
Detroit, Dallas plays. Right? People want to tune in to see that.
I think that would be a bigger draw than San Francisco. San Francisco's been in it too many years now. People, I don't think people.
San Francisco is the number 1 team on the West Coast. Like once you get past once you get past the Midwest, San Francisco becomes
100%
their largest team. So I'm looking at San Francisco 5 championships going against Dallas.
He's just saying people are sick of them.
No, true.
Yeah,
but just like we were like, Michigan, I'm not going to be excited till it gets closer. You start to get that ramp up of Dallas and San Fran and the history and the things. And how many times are they going to show that catch in the back of the end zone by Clark?
Dwight Clark, baby.
But Detroit,
fair enough.
But Detroit definitely is. I would put them the number 2 team that people want to see.
They're becoming America's darling. There's no question about it.
Totally agree with you. Now they got to finish it off this year. Pause.
When your fans show up, like people around the country see it, and it's like, I saw what you did there.
Right. Most likely Super Bowl matchup.
Oh, here we go.
Ready? Ooh. Most likely Super Bowl matchup. Here we
go.
Kansas City, San Francisco is the highest here. And then there are 4 different matchups at 4%. Those involve Baltimore, San Francisco, and then you have Kansas City versus Detroit, Kansas City versus Philadelphia, Kansas City versus Dallas. Then you have another couple that are 3% likely. Right. Involving Baltimore and Detroit among them. Green Bay, this is the first time we see Green Bay on this list. Green Bay not involved in any conference championship mathematical matchup that is high, but they've somehow got them in the Super Bowl against Kansas City. So,
I don't get that one.
I don't either. Baltimore versus Detroit is a great matchup. All of these matchups are great.
Not if they played in Baltimore.
Buffalo gets a lot of love. I feel like personally, Buffalo is a worse team but they are getting an awful lot of love from this.
Buffalo and Dallas belong together.
Yeah.
100%.
They're both on the bubble. Let's face it, they're on the bubble on their way out. They are.
Buffalo and the Dallas Cowboys, they're not even the second best team in their divisions. They're not even the second best team in their division this year.
Good point.
I'm telling you, they're not going to be there when it's all said and done.
So you think the Giants or Washington are better than Dallas?
I think the Eagles and Washington.
Well, Eagles are on top.
Well, I'm saying they're not even the second best team. So I said, yeah, Washington. I think Washington's going to be the surprise in the league. Ryan said the same thing, I do believe.
And the Giants' defense is damn good, but their offense is a question mark.
Yeah, you see what Giants added defensive and yesterday.
They got them penciled in for 6.5 wins. They're getting no respect, the Giants.
No, well, they got no quarterback. They've got no quarterback. And again, it's the difference between some of these organizations that and even
we're going to get to see them.
Even Pittsburgh, though, if you look at what Pittsburgh did, Pittsburgh took a first-round quarterback. I know 20 and picking at 6 is different or whatever, but you take your first-round quarterback at 20, you realize he's not it. You get rid of him and start over. The New York Giants picked a quarterback. They realized he wasn't it.
Double down.
They gave him $45 million.
Triple down.
And then they had
after he won a playoff game.
Saquon Barkley won that playoff game. I mean, he did, right? I mean, in the
Daniel
defense.
Jones had a good game on the road, beat Minnesota.
What did he do?
That's how he got his money.
What did he do?
Fair enough. Okay, fine.
I'm just saying that's why they paid him.
And I can't argue that. But I think it's kind of like when you're dating a girl, when you or whatever. You know when you're going to marry her, right? Yeah. You know when this person's for you and when the person's not. It's the same way as a quarterback.
Right.
You know this guy's not for you. You absolutely know
they're
that.
stuck with him right now.
And they are stuck with him, and that's why they're going to win 6
Drew
games
Lock
this
is
year.
There.
That's why they're going to win 6 games this year, though.
We're trying to figure out how many yards Daniel Jones has. I know he didn't have a good game.
Yeah, but the Lions, again, are a team that is I almost feel that this is Super Bowl or bust. Not winning the Super Bowl, but getting to the Super Bowl. Anything outside of that is a failed season for me now at this point in the year.
Of course, because they went to they were a minute away from going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Anything less than that is a step back.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Daniel Jones had a damn good game.
Did he?
When they beat the Vikings. He had 78 yards rushing too. My God. I'm sorry.
Okay.
He did get paid off that game.
He did.
But he's a bum ever since, though. But
he got hurt.
Lions are getting that respect, but you know what? You know where they're getting that respect in terms of being mentioned in the Super Bowl and the percentages in the NFC Champion game, giving the same amount as San Fran. It's because they did it last year, and we didn't believe in their defensive line. And no one believed in the Lions' defensive line outside of Aiden Hutchinson. Is it Isaiah Buggs, who we'll get to talking about in a second? Is it Isaiah Buggs? Is it Aleem McNeil? What's going on with that? The secondary was atrocious. Secondary was atrocious. 5 of the last 6 wide receivers had over 100 yards. 150 yards, and the quarterbacks had over 350 yards as well. They were atrocious. They got better in those regards, and even with that, they still were 7 minutes away from being in the Super Bowl. So when you look at that, and they made that weakness a strength, at least we think so through the draft, at least we think so through free agency. So when you look at it that way, they got that far with that, and they now made that better and had a better offseason than the 49ers, in my estimation. They deserve to be exactly where they are.
And not only that, you do have to consider, I do believe some of these players, all of them, I can't tell you one guy I think is going to regress this year.
Take the next leap.
You think Gibbs is going to regress?
No.
Do you think Laporta is going to regress?
We didn't even understand Gibbs until game 8.
Do you think Branch is going to regress? Do you think Hutchinson is going to regress?
No.
It's amazing that they are peaking.
Do you think Campbell is going to regress?
No.
He's only going to get better. Braylon, I need you to answer that.
But you said, is he going to regress? I don't think he regresses.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
No, 100%. He won't regress.
I mean, these guys are going to get better for sure.
I want to steal a topic for you. I know we're talking about the Lions. I want to steal one. Yesterday, we saw that Nico Collins got an extension. We talked about on the show 3 years, $72 million, I do believe. Today, another young wide receiver got extended. Jalen Waddle got extended 3 years, $84 million. what Maz and I talked about was it's the Brad Holmes effect. It's owners, it's GM saying, hey, look, what they're doing in Detroit works. As you see it on the board right now, Dolphins receiver Jalen Reeves agrees to terms on that 3-year extension, but it's working. And they're like, they don't have any infighting. They got a bunch of guys that respect each other. They've created a community doing it this way. Why play around with the money? Like, we know we want to extend this guy. Let's just extend it. Brad Holmes and the Detroit Lions are now becoming the blueprint to certain things. Yeah. Who the hell thought we would ever be able to say that?
They're setting the trends.
You know, the first thing I thought of when I saw this news today, Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
If you're Justin Jefferson, what is going through your mind
now?
Does it make you feel like you want to go work your tail off for the Minnesota Vikings? The answer to me would be no.
No.
Well, they tried to trade him.
I understand. So Amon-Ra gets paid. A.J. Brown gets paid.
A.J. got paid early.
News comes out that they tried to trade you, and then Waddle gets paid. If you're him,
he's going to set the trend. He's going to be above them all. He is. Pete, put up the top receivers now. Top receivers pay. Here's your top 10. Top 10 receivers salary. And you're going to see the 3 guys we just talked about on the top of this list.
Tariq's 1.
And Justin Jefferson's going to pass him all.
Devontae's 2.
I think A.J. Brown
Yeah, but
is
will he
number 1.
pass it with the Vikings? I think that's the question. A.J. Brown 1, Amon-Ra 2, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. And again, look at what, if you're the Miami Dolphins, if you're looking at this screen, I don't know about paying. How are you going to pay 2 guys, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and are you going to pay Tua $50 million? Ooh.
Yeah.
Where's all this money coming from? It's
coming from a Michigan alum and Stephen Ross.
Well, there is a salary cap, isn't there?
It went up $30 million this year. So if you're the Miami Dolphins, you know that what works for you, you set the trend in offense. My God, you scored 70 points last year on the Denver Broncos alone. Sean Payton's still pissed about that. But you know what works for you is offense. You know what works for you is offense, so you got to pay heavy on what can potentially get you into the playoffs. They're not even paying for the Super Bowl. They're paying just to get into the playoffs and get into the dance. So, I mean, this is what got them there. This is Mike McDaniel. It's 2024. I'd pay it.
Yeah.
Who are they going to pay on defense?
Figure it out.
That's because they're paying everyone on offense.
They had a really good draft. Remember, they were one of 3 or 4 A drafts, I do believe. So maybe they're hoping to get it in the draft.
I love Mike McDaniel. I mean, I hope he does. I hope he does well. I hope they can win that division.
Yeah, and that's why I said I don't believe in Buffalo because I
think the Jets are winning that division.
I believe in Jets Dolphins.
Did you see A-Raj on the sidelines yesterday?
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Getting his feet worked on?
What was he doing?
I don't know.
What do you mean? He was just getting a little stretch.
Yeah, again,
He had a sneaker and sock off, and the trainer was over there. That's all we saw.
He's getting his foot rubbed.
Okay.
Like, he had an Achilles. What you do is you break that scar tissue up.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, you break the scar tissue.
Yeah.
That look real
weird. As long as he's up on 2 legs, they got 7 standalone games. The NFL has put all their chips in the middle of the table,
including
on the New York Jets.
Opening night, Monday night.
And he's right, man. I mean, he is right. He is talking about he's must-see TV. You either love him or you absolutely hate him. And it's just like
you want to watch him.
You want to watch him. You want to see him get hit. You want to see him score a touchdown. Both sides have something to watch.
And guess what? They got their best uniforms rocking right now.
And I think also, too, like the people that don't like or the people that hated Aaron Rodgers, I think slowly but surely in this last year cycle, Ryan, I think they're starting to come aboard to want to rep him and to want him, if they don't like him, at least to have a good season. You're talking about a guy that went to the podium and he said, look, if this thing doesn't work this year, a lot of guys are getting fired, including me.
Yep.
He said, you saw what happened in Green Bay. They will hire your replacement. They will get you out of there if they don't believe in you. Like saying stuff like that, I'm like, all right, like you said it. Now what are you gonna do?
Right.
You see him come out 3-0 after saying that at the podium. You can't help but get behind him and want to keep rolling. Go Jets.
Guys, we're gonna take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk to our WSN Injury Insider, Dr. Jeff Pierce. We'll do that next. But first, a message from Wake Up Woodward.
Wake up every Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. mornings with Wake Up Woodward right here on Woodward Sports Network. You can join Sam Flannel, Kool-Aid, Matt Broder, JB, and Kenny G. Again, every Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. mornings right here on Detroit's #1 sports station, and that would be Woodward Sports. We'll be right back.
Thank you to the Detroit Lions. and Sheila Hamp for the best season in Lions history. Now it's time to let Brad Holmes cook. Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
A network for the city, by the city. Woodward Sports is Detroit Sports.
Any Lady Jane's haircuts for men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Right now, more than ever, it's critical for you to have your insurance reviewed, and Swiss Insurance will make sure that your carrier is not slipping in extra fees. Call Mark at Swiss Insurance today, 313-530-1698, or visit SwissINS.com. And now visit Ryan and Braylon.
Absolutely. Welcome back. Woodward Sports Network. Ryan Ermanni, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We got Mike. We got Pete. Of course, intern Joel, intern James, everybody here today, including Dr. Jeff Pierce, our WSN Injury Insider from the Michigan Sports and Spine Center, michigansportsandspine.com. Doc, where are you coming from today? Hailing from?
Somewhere in Tennessee.
Where are you?
I'm in Memphis, Tennessee.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, Memphis.
What's going on down there in Memphis, Tennessee?
It's a good barbecue.
I just had barbecue. Actually, I was at Lorraine Hotel, across from Lorraine Hotel, which is Braylon. You know why Lorraine Hotel is famous?
Is it Martin Luther King?
Anybody? Martin Luther King is where he was assassinated.
Why you ask the black guy?
I was at the barbecue across from
Why you ask the one black guy on the show? Of course I know what hotel that is, man. It's part of my history.
Well, because I didn't want to put Ryan on the spot. I've forgotten my... that history is a while ago, and it's. I like what it said. They celebrated instead of riot. There was a lot of history there. Anyhow, I had barbecue across the street from there, so that was famous. And I did the brisket, the pulled chicken, and the turkey, and the baked beans and potato salad. So I'm ready to take a nap after that now.
Some places you go, you just got to get certain things, man. You go to Memphis, you got to get barbecue. You go to Kansas City, you got to get barbecue. You go to Texas, you got to get barbecue.
You go to Boston, you get some chowder.
Oh, this is true. New England clam chowder is the best, baby.
Chowder.
Jersey pizza.
Smashing crabs.
Right.
Hey, so, Doc, how do they have that hotel now? Is it a
It's a memorial.
Is it a historic site
Museum.
now? Or what? How do they have it
They do tours.
preserved?
Yes. Well, they apparently in '82 they were going to tear it down, and the coalition kind of came together and says, "No, we're preserving this. We're turning it into a museum." So it's a tribute to obviously Martin Luther King and everything he was standing for, and a lot of history brings back, sad memories and how tough the world is and how tough it is today, and how silly all of us can really be. And it's nice that that part of history is being. It's still active and captive. I don't know the proper word right now to use, but it's he's a great man. He's a great man. He's before his time, and it's just simple terms. I just can't believe we've gotten to places that we've gotten and things. I think the older I get, the more I care about history, and it's special and kind of where we are. And we're not chasing social media and TikToks, and sometimes you just got to come back down to earth and baseline and what's real and what's not real and what's important. Judge a person on their soul, and that's all you should be judging them on, and that's it. And I'll get off
Amen
that
to that.
soapbox right
Well
now.
said, Doc.
No, amen to that. I couldn't agree more with you on that, Doc. And let me ask you, I wanted to get some injury news. In the NBA, there's a big game tonight in the NBA. It is the Mavericks and the Minnesota Timberwolves. And one of the guys that has really popped this series has been Derek Lively. He sat out last game. He was present at the shoot-around today. No word yet on if he will play or not, but apparently he's got a neck contusion. He's got a stiff neck, a neck strain. I don't know.
Wasn't he?
Go ahead.
Was he questionable concussion symptoms too?
Is that what that is?
Was he questionable concussions?
Yes.
Well, I mean, headaches and concussions also were some of it, I heard.
Yes. I mean, so anything involving the
got-
neck, there is a concern with the concussion. Yes.
No, I mean, I don't want to throw concussion out there. I heard something that wasn't confirmed, but the neck strain, which can lead to tightening of where the head comes into the neck. Okay, it's the occipital cervical. It's where the back of the head meets the neck. And that's a key area to have stress headaches, tension, and I think they're just softly calling it a neck strain. Typically with my team, we work that out pretty aggressively. Sometimes we actually do injections into the area to get them going. So I cut you off before you actually asked your whole question. Was it?
Well,
Can I believe he's out or what?
Well, no, he's he was out in game 4. Today he was at the shoot around. He took a knee to the head, a knee to the neck.
That's a concussion.
A knee to the neck, and that's where the sprain came in. I guess I just don't know how quickly something like that would he's a guy who plays with his head on a swivel, right? I mean, he's a high flyer out there. He plays at the rim. Is that something that you think somebody could play through?
Absolutely. I mean, like I always talk about the locker room cocktail. There's plenty of cocktails that's not so severe. If they're calling it a sprain, they're not saying it's a herniation or a radiculopathy. It's an injury to the neck, kind of like a whiplash. If think of it like simplified, like a whiplash injury, where all that mechanism kind of pushed and pulled, and now it gets real tight, and then you get that tightness around the back of your head, and it kind of rolls forward and can give you headaches. And typically, a good trainer, therapist, we do a lot of dry needling and stuff like that. We will do injections. I mean, unless it's really something unusual, he should be, not playing at 100%, but at least functional to get out there for good minutes in the game. If he was under Michigan Sports and Spine Care, I could guarantee that. With them, I'm not so sure. No, because I don't see that as a limiting factor in a game like today. I always talk about, the importance of the game. And right now, the Timberwolves are back against the wall kind of attitude. You need your best guys out there. So, it's Minnesota. They got Mayo Clinic up there. They should be run.
We just lost Dr. Pierce.
Pop back.
Let's see if he pops back up.
There he is.
There he is.
Doc, you there?
Sorry.
All right.
I'm here.
We thought you nodded off.
We thought you took a nap.
The barbecue. I gotta get my energy drink going. I gotta get my exosomes going. But I think under our care, I would say he should be playing. Is he gonna be 100%? No, but he's not gonna be like 50, 60%. The guy should be in there. It's that mental toughness again we got to talk about.
That's right. He's a younger player
speaking
as
of
well.
X's, yeah, it's funny. I was going to go on a side note. I got a call from my trainer, my guy who trains. He works on Guns N' Roses. Calls me up yesterday. Told me he tore his Achilles, and he, we talked about exosomes and peptides and all that regenerative stuff. About with him. I know we talk about it, but he's living it firsthand. He tore his Achilles. Jordan out there, and he says he's recovering twice as fast. So a little insight to that locker room cocktail that we're using on our own people right now.
That's awesome.
Doc, 2 quick questions. One, you just brought up Achilles, so it made me think about a guy in Aaron Rodgers is coming back this season. We've already asked you about him coming back and blah, blah, blah. What are the chances, the real chances? You're talking about a guy that'd be 40 when the season starts, towards Achilles last year around this time when the season started. What are the chances he gets hurt again? Like, I mean, because you wonder about the training, you wonder about the field turf, you're wondering about the special type of procedure that he had. Like, what are the realistic chances that he can go out there and get injured again and the Jet season's off or not?
Well, I mean, come on. He's still, 40 years old now?
40.
How old is it?
He's 40.
40. I mean, I believe he came in, and nobody's going to quote me, and I didn't firsthand. I've never met Aaron, but he has a little persona that he's bigger than everything. I think he got humbled by this. I think he's got something to prove. I think he's training and doing everything to keep him as healthy as possible. Will he have another Achilles issue? Probably not. Is he at risk for an injury? He's a 40-year-old guy trying to play a young man's sport. So just on that level, with or without the Achilles, he's at risk. But I guarantee you, this guy, he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. He's coming in probably as strong as he's ever played the game. That's what I think, because he's got that attitude and that arrogance to say I'm that good. And I think Tom Brady's a little bit of a chip on his shoulder that I'm as good as Tom Brady, even though he's not.
I got to check the schedule and see if Tom does any of Aaron's games
this
year, which is going to be a lot of fun. Doc, last question. You saw Scottie Scheffler. We talked about that last week, what happened to Valhalla. You see all charges drop. He was able to escape. I still think it's the PGA's fault. I'm glad this happened. You see the video. There was not exactly what they said, and it was just a dumb job by the PGA. They should have had somebody directing traffic, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, Scotty, it just shows you that the mental toughness only goes so far. I mean, he came back and played that on Thursday. He had a good round, first day. And then, it kind of got to him. He broke down a little bit the second day. It's just, mental toughness is so much part of the game. And here's Scotty that we thought was unshakable, and some some poor incident, got into his head. And, everybody's human. We're not robots anymore. We really are human. I mean, we've all played the game of golf. We all have gone through the runs where we just, like, the hole's so big and you're just there, and then all of a sudden you got one little vehicle or vessel or anything that's a little bit off. It throws your game off, and then you go down that rabbit hole. So, like I said on the last show, it's your memory. Your memory beats you the most out of everything. The guys, I've talked about Chris Osgood on DMAC's show on Tuesday, that the reason Osgood was so good is because he had a short-term memory. He couldn't remember anything bad. But I think Scotty, he did. I mean, he was great that way. I'm like, how do you do? I've had a lot of conversations with him. His wife was into yoga and meditation, and Osgood's a great guy. Scotty's going to get back. He'll be as good as new. But it just shows you that the message to everybody's got their limits. We make fun of these young kids, these college kids, these young athletes, professional. They're still young athletes that they're human. They're human, and the human mind will overtake, and you got to be able to know how to conquer it, and, how to do it. If it's meditation, it's your go-to, it's your routine. Like Tiger Woods, I always had my routine. I had my routine. It didn't matter. I kept to my routine. So like Braylon, I know you have a routine, but it's also changed. It's been modified. Like you got how you're working out now. You have your routine. You're comfortable with that. And when somebody messes with you, or you're ill, or you hurt your pinky finger, it just throws you off a little bit.
It's funny. It's funny, not to cut you off. It's super funny that you said that. Yesterday when I worked, the day before when I worked out, what day is today? Is Thursday, so it had been Tuesday. I always work out with a headband. I got a little do-rag that I work out with, a little scarf, little Tito's bandana, free promotion right there. But I didn't have it on Tuesday. I didn't have it. Wasn't the same workout. Like I legitimately, it's part of my routine. It's like the last thing. It's kind of like the movie Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone, where he got to turn the hat to the back and he turns to the machine. That's kind of like my Sylvester Stallone. Lincoln Hawk was his name. He put the bandana
Link.
on, tie it up. Now I'm ready to lift weights. Didn't have the bandana. Didn't really have a good workout. I was put in some sweat, but you're right, man. When your routine is off, no matter what it is, it messes with this the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate for many years to be around a lot of high-profile athletes, and even the entertainers that were around, even, young kids. Like I watched a young girl that was on my daughter's high school golf team. She had a routine. She had her system, and she was a step above. That 5%, 10%. You keep adding 5 to 10% each year, doing certain things. You're way ahead in 5 to 10 years. That's the difference between athletes with talent, athletes that really go to the next level. I can pull a lot of examples up, but I'll bore you. But I mean, you know what I mean. It's that routine. It's the routine of life. Ryan, I'm sure you have a routine before you go on the show. This is what I do. I got entertainers that I shut down at this time. I take my nap at this time. I want to do my voice exercises at this time. These are perfectionists. That's why they get to the next level. Not trying to be anxiety and anal about it, but routines are a big deal.
You hit it, Doc. And even in, I bring it to my sport, bowling. The best bowlers do the same exact thing every single time. They pick up their ball. They wipe it a certain way. They put it down. They get the rosin. They check their shoes. They go up there. They have a breathing exercise, and they deliver the ball the same way every time. I go up. I'm like a hack. I go up there. And that's why I'm not a 230 bowler.
Well, your envelope is empty.
I have a 200, and my envelope is shot. So even in bowling, the exact same thing. You watch those pros on Fox. They do the same thing. I'm like, come on, man, just throw the spare. Throw the spare. No, they do the exact same thing.
Right. No, but it's not just sports. It's life too. I don't want to get too deep. I'm deep here in Memphis, and the Martin Luther King got me thinking. It's just, the messaging. It's just, I'm sad for our young youth. I don't know where the good examples are coming from anymore. I mean, everything's tainted. I'm going to get on my soapbox here, so I'm going to cut myself off. But it's just, where are we getting, you don't look to athletes, you don't look to entertainers. The messaging is so confusing. I don't know. It's like you have to find your own routine. I think we're starting to see that pendulum swing the other way, because even watching on TikToks, I'm seeing, stop doing this. You need to focus here. You need to go back to family. You need to go back to what's roots. And it's injury prevention. I know this is about sports medicine, but the mental part is sometimes 90% of success. And I said it on DMAC's show on Tuesday, that the attitude of I am this, I am that, the positive messaging has to be, and you have to believe in yourself. The most successful people in the world are people that with a positive attitude. And it just we talked about Bill Walton, how he came back from terrible injuries. Sad week for the NBA alumni with him, but that guy is a great example of his glass was always half full. He was a goofball. He was crazy. Like when he would come into our alumni meetings and at All-Star games, we would see, like I told the story that we'd be with Dr. J and Clyde and Gervin. And Walton would go in, he'd make some funny comment, come in and have a 5-minute presence, and then he'd leave, and all of them would be like, man, like Gervin would always go, Doc, that guy ain't right. He just ain't right. And it's just funny stories, and everybody had a story about him. But there's a great example of a guy who always played with a glass half full, and he had his morals and his soul, and he played that way. And he proved it.
That's a great story, man. Great story. I love Bill Walton. All those injuries he came back from, a lot of guys would never have come back from.
No doubt.
He really had it going, man.
No doubt. Hey, Doc, we're up against it, my friend. We're about to end the show. Go back to eating some barbecue. Got to get some barbecue tonight, too. Go take a nap and then eat more barbecue, all right?
All right, guys. Miss you. We'll see you in the show next week.
We'll see you next Thursday. Check out Dr. Pierce, MichiganSportsAndSpine.com. Dr. Pierce, our WSN Injury Insider from the Michigan Sports and Spine Center. Good
Yeah,
stuff there.
full of some good insight today.
Absolutely.
I like
I'll tell you, man,
Sometimes
so
you
as well.
gotta think deep, man. You
That
gotta be
guy's got
thoughtful
some
about
great
it.
stories.
Absolutely.
And he's met them all.
Hey, that's why I always try to pull those stories out.
Sports,
man.
entertainment,
Yeah.
everywhere. You know.
Yeah.
Concerts. I mean, this guy at Little Caesars Arena, when there's a concert,
He's there.
he's there in the back, helping out, getting massage therapy, all of that to the performers. This guy he's all right, man.
That's
Good
awesome.
job, Doc.
Also enjoying the show.
All right, guys. Last minute of the show. Two officials. Rangers and Panthers tonight. Who wins, Braylon?
Panthers.
I'm going with the Rangers on home ice.
Rangers on home ice.
The last 3 games have been overtime. Make it 4 games in overtime.
There you go.
Panthers win 3-2 regulation.
There you go. I'm going to go with the Rangers, too, just because I'm rooting for them.
2-1 overtime.
There you go.
Okay.
I also am going to be rooting for and telling you that the Timberwolves are going to win tonight. Timberwolves, 4.5-point favorite. Braylon?
I'm going with the Timberwolves as well.
Timberwolves.
I think Timberwolves. I think Dallas will win the series overall, but I think something got ignited in Anthony Edwards. I think he's here for round 2.
Maz?
90-88, Minnesota.
Look at you.
Take Dallas in the points.
So we swept. So you know that what that means. Dallas is gonna win.
Probably.
Exactly.
Probably.
All right, guys. Bray, get us out of here.
Hey, we appreciate you, man. And
Hey, Tigers, Red Sox tonight.
Tigers,
Oh, yeah,
Red Sox
them
tonight.
too.
The start up at 4.
You won't be able
Game
to watch them,
stint.
though, unless you have Nesson.
This is true. Look, it's always fun when the gang's all here. In the day, the gang was all here. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. Ermanni Edwards with Maz on Woodward Sports Network, man. Enjoy the sun. It's out.